Howdy, and welcome back to Disco Elysium with Wickedstorm Gaming. We have been trapped horribly.
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me? My boys?
Your boys.
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like...
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck did the rest of you get by?
Rest of who? Wait, wasn't it you who called me the human can opener? Not personal, I opened them up. Do it by asking questions. I have some for you. Yeah, please explain this
What
shit to me.
I told you I didn't do it. Sounds pretty simple to me. I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
That's fair. Jude feels sympathy for the mercs. It's work. There's nothing more personal than him, but that's his way with women.
You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, pussy's not a problem for me. And definitely not a reason to off someone.
I mean, you wouldn't think so, but...
See her confident
a lot
gaze.
of murders
Her
happen over
tone
pussy.
calms. Yeah, she wouldn't have had much trouble in the intimacy department.
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do.
Again, true.
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
She didn't hate him, okay?
Fine.
I'm listening. Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me.
There was half a...
Yeah, and I'm sure they also made some funny remarks about it. They always do. I've driven a lot of long haul and chugged a lot of beer, man.
Trucker bladder.
Can't do either without some power of mind over bladder. And anyway, that wouldn't have been enough time.
No, it takes a 50-minute investigation. Show that 50 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
There's a secret way for the first floor to raise to the roof.
Don't know it. But also, the shot couldn't have come from the roof. Or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
Yeah, it's only the island left.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
You have a gun.
And?
Where'd you get it? Front loaders, do you have another gun somewhere? I can't quite tell what kind of gun it is.
The gun store.
Yeah.
Trigger Happy Jacks.
Really?
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry.
Nah.
No, sure don't.
A breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
A knocked way 80 front loader. 2-barreled. Not really what you were looking for, I'm guessing. Yeah. Evidence. I considered her a good friend, yeah.
That's, like, we've already established
What
that.
the hell, man? Yeah, why not? I've gotten worse.
Yeah, such a weird way to phrase it.
I'm not following your clever insinuations, detective.
There's a hole in the wall, you can see Cousin's room.
If I want to stare at a pretty girl, I can pick one up at a bar. Or, worst case scenario, look at a naughty photo.
She did have a lot of
Who
posters.
has time to go skulking about the whirling, drilling holes in walls? What the fuck, man? She's everyone's type. She's your type. Are you sure you're not the one who was excited about the peephole?
It's not like she really did anything worth peeping on
She's
while I've been
beginning
here.
to suspect you've broken into her lorry now.
I did get pretty excited.
Nope. Look, she has an effect on people. That je ne sais quoi that makes it impossible not to look at her when she walks into the room, and very difficult to look away. But travel enough and you realize,
A lot of static in this episode.
for the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not irreplaceable.
Well, this is gonna look really bad on YouTube too, with the compression and everything.
Oh, so that's where you were going with this.
I mean, was that not obvious from the whole girl like her comment? Hmm?
That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up with us, and we enjoyed listening to music together. Why not go on a road trip?
The lieutenant watches her expectantly.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausy was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once.
Then what happened?
She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much, and how guilty she felt for leading me on. I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on.
No ill will there. It wasn't a problem for her.
Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about how dangerous her patterns with men were. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy. Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer.
Not the best way to phrase something around somebody who had their head blown off.
Go ahead. It's your body.
Too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
Yes.
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Clausia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna. The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Clausia. It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
Well, damn. What the fuck was that?
Come in.
I don't want to
Yes,
come in.
I'm sure.
I don't want to come in.
And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar. No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style. So now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on. I never did understand why, when someone dies, a hothouse's worth of flowers has to die too. No, I did not.
I gained experience. You're running drugs.
So,
Naughty.
Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
That really comes as a blow to her.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
I mean, we should.
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
That's your prerogative.
Yeah, whatever.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the union. I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
There, it's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
You're
Based on
threatening
what
us
I've
with
heard
this.
about you, you are serious scum.
There's a sinister note in her voice. Even with the gun and the compressor, she's afraid of you.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, I could very easily do that. You killed the murderer.
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Yeah, like, and they keep talking about, like, an experienced sniper, and the only military people here were the other mercenaries. And...
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Good thing I haven't used it much.
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Clausia's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Clausia comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her. Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party hard before. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
What?
She looks shaken. She wasn't surprised to be ratted out, but framed.
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy Boys. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed. As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going, fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me. I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
That strange, distant fear is getting close now. It's a fear of yourself.
I'm so scary.
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself.
Well, it's a good thing I've been stocking up.
Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's everyone?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you? Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both. Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough. You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
She's not going to change her mind that easily.
What bunker? Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Jack. What the fuck was that? Yeah, how am I gonna nudge it? It's all the way over there. You're just gonna let me walk across the whole fucking room, are you? Okay. I guess, like, what are you gonna do? Step in here and be fucked too? Well, that's very red.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
See them fireworks,
She
Tim?
looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
Ew. What are you doing?
Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes, it is.
No.
You should know the words to say. You've been here yourself. So why is it not coming to you?
Yeah, I had a feeling that wasn't gonna work.
Because you've been going around pointing a gun at yourself, trying to answer the same question in vain. Her finger squeezes the trigger now. No, wait. Finally, it comes to you. A way to connect with her.
That's not gonna go well. Yep.
She flashes you an incredulous grin. Then she exhales sharply, shakes her head, and pulls the trigger. You watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
Ooh, boy.
Fuck! Our job. It went really bad. And now we need to clean it up.
She died. How can he be so?
Lieutenant Yefreitor Dubois, control your emotions. We did our job. This won't be the worst thing that happens on this case, believe me. You can't let this break you.
Yeah, I had a bad end. Very similar to this already once.
There is no coming back from this one. It will stay with you in nightmares.
We clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need to move it somewhere. That tent there.
What tent? Oh, the tent. Sure. Equip this when times are most dire. Okay. Dual wielding guns now. Fun. Oh, I made back all my health. Dark Watch says there's no way out. No! She press porridge with bananas. $8.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. You see a rolled up sleeping bag and personal belongings.
We should put her in the sleeping bag, so the rats don't get to her.
The lieutenant nods.
Kind of a disturbing sound. Alright.
There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag,
Looks like she's just under a
surrounded
tarp,
by
but sure.
empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines. Magazines? You should look through them. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook. You pocket the worn brown leather journal. She watches by, motionless.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
Right, very now. Okay.
Thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. This was important to her when it was still hers. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently. Perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
We
That's
could learn
handy.
a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism. Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape. Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. Staff issues. Always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable. Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it. That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell.
What about this M? Could this be La Puta Madre? Here, March 9th and March 15th.
Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? Things played out just as she had feared, except you didn't shoot her. It's in you to do something like this. Kill her. Physically, at least. You could pull the trigger if you had to.
No, I couldn't.
Yes, you could. You'd pull it 1, 2, 3 times and watch her fall. No, stop. He wouldn't do that. Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly. The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed.
This whole thing was a detour, and a fatal one, he thinks. Don't get emotional.
By the Hardy Boys? By Classier? By us? No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure. Classier was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or... maybe she had an accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on her.
We gotta get to that island somehow.
One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling and rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Want to do that next time. Oh, for now, like it if you liked it, subscribe if you want, share if you can, and do what you want. I'll see you next time. Have fun.